Axl Rose appeared in court in Missouri this week to plead guilty to 4 charges of assault and criminal damage stemming from a concert riot in St. Louis a year ago. His trial date was set for October the 13th. The 30-year-old Guns N' Roses frontman, who was arrested in New York last weekend and released on $100,000 bail, arrived wearing a pink Versace suit. The warrant for his arrest was issued by the St. Louis prosecutor following the riot last July, in which 40 people were injured. MTV News was also present when Rose arrived, handcuffed at the New York court where his bail was set. After the hearing, MTV's Kurt Loder hitched a ride in Axl's limousine and spoke to the singer as he rode back to his Manhattan hotel.
Axl, you all right?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
What happened?
The prosecutor reneged on a promise he made. I'm going there on the 15th, and he said this wouldn't happen, and he lied.
You gonna be out soon?
I think so.
Rose had been arrested on an outstanding warrant issued months ago by a prosecutor in St. Louis named McCulloch, who'd been trying for nearly a year to get Rose to return to that city to answer to 4 misdemeanor assault charges and 1 misdemeanor property damage charge stemming from a riot at a Guns N' Roses concert in St. Louis last July. After 3.5 hours at the Queens Courthouse, Rose was released on $100,000 bail and an agreement that he would finally fly back to St. Louis this week, as he'd already planned to do. We jumped into a limo with him for an exclusive interview on the way back to his hotel in Manhattan and asked him how he'd been treated in jail.
What did they do when they put you in jail? Did you have a cell by yourself, or were there other people? Did you get to talk to any other inmates or anything?
No, I basically spent my time writing autographs for cops and talking with them about rock and roll. I met all these really cool cops that were telling me all about when they went to Woodstock and everything. It was great. New York cops are the best.
The question in many observers' minds, of course, was why Rose didn't just return to St. Louis to plead his case months ago. According to Rose, it's taken this long to work out an ironclad deal, which, as things stand now, means a sentence of 2 years probation reduced to 1 year.
We've just been waiting till, to get the case somewhat solidified and in writing before we go, because I don't want to go there and get set up. You know, well, you come here, it's going to be like this, and then it's a whole different story, and you end up sitting in St. Louis for a long time.
What does probation mean? You can't do it, come back to St. Louis and do something bad, or you can't do something bad anywhere in the country?
It's like anywhere. It's anywhere, but I'm not really worried about any of that because I really don't spend my time breaking the law, so I'm not really worried about that. It just depends on, you know, if you play someplace where somebody doesn't like rock and roll or Guns N' Roses, they could say I did something. You know, you never know what will happen with that.
And what exactly happened at that St. Louis concert 1 year ago? Did Rose provoke a riot, or was he simply reacting to a collapse in concert security? Here's what he told us.
We have a tape of one guy on stage with a knife, and we lost $1 million worth of equipment in that show, and I don't see anybody else taking any responsibility for anything. I'm saying, yeah, I jumped off stage, and yeah, things went haywire after that. And maybe I could have handled it better or whatever, but no one was really handling anything at that point. So I took it into my own hands with what I could do. And what crossed my mind that time, because I've been pretty much pushed to the limit by their lack of security. But I don't see anybody else in St. Louis really taking any responsibility for anything that happened.